In April 2026, the Pentagon requested a military budget for 2027 of $1.5 trillion. That's a 42% increase in a single year and the largest military budget in US history. I'm tracking an astrological cycle that indicates that between May 24th and June 14th, 2026, and especially around May 31st, major decisions and restructurings will take place in the US military sector that will change not only the future of warfare but the life of every American. Let's break down exactly what that looks like and why it matters. I'm looking at this through a full moon that activates Uranus in the US chart. Similar full moons occurred in June 2023, June 2015, and June 2012, and each time that period brought concrete restructurings and innovations in the military sector that changed how the US waged war and how it spends taxpayer money. In June 2023, the Pentagon moved into the active phase of military integration. Task Force Lima was formed, officially beginning the integration of generative AI for intelligence analysis for the first time. Work that used to take analysts a week now gets done in minutes. They tested hundreds of real-world use cases across the entire Department of Defense. At the same time, the replication program was finalized, a shift away from one expensive aircraft toward thousands of cheap drones. That completely changed the logic of military spending. For the average American, this means the following. Technologies developed for the smart battlefield began rapidly adapting for civilian use: AI cameras in cities, surveillance systems originally built for war, and simultaneously a labor market shift began. Money flowed into high-tech states while traditional manufacturing regions started losing funding. Drop a comment: have you been following US military spending in recent years? Yes or no? Since January 2026, the Pentagon, now officially renamed the Department of War, has carried out a sweeping reorganization of its innovation ecosystem. Defense Secretary Hexer consolidated all innovation structures under a single Chief Technology Officer and set the mission integrate AI into every aspect of military operation on a wartime timeline. The document they published in January states plainly, 2026 will be the year we decisively rise the bar for AI-driven military dominance. Running parallel to that is the Golden Dome program, the most ambitious missile defense project in US history. About $25 billion has already been allocated, with total cost estimates ranging from $175 billion by Trump's figures to $3.6 trillion according to independent analysts. The goal is to build a multi-layer shield capable of intercepting hypersonic missiles, ballistic missiles, and drones before they reach American soil. My forecast: between May 24th and June 14th, we will most likely see the most significant innovations or transformations in the military sector in a way that reshapes the future of conflict. It's possible that during this window, the US will push through specific legislative action to fund Golden Dome through the budget reconciliation process, or announce new contracts with tech companies for military AI. But I think something even larger is coming. This Uranus in horoscope is the planet of sudden technological leaps, and historically these are exactly the kinds of windows on which the Pentagon makes announcements that shift the balance of power. I understand all of this sounds far removed from everyday life, but let's look at what military transformation actually means for the average American, because $1.5 trillion doesn't come from thin air. The Pentagon requested $53.6 billion for autonomous drones, money that will go to specific companies in specific states and create specific jobs. But at the same time, social program budgets are shrinking. At a private dinner in April, Trump said it directly: the country has to choose between military defense and programs like Medicaid, and his choice is obvious. For the first time in history, the Pentagon has created a dedicated budget line for AI and the autonomous system, $13.4 billion. This isn't just military spending, it's a signal to the labor market. The company that land these contracts will be hiring engineers, data scientists, and software developers. If you are thinking about retraining right now or figuring out where to point your kids' careers, this This is information that has direct relevance. And finally, Golden Dome. Independent estimates put the cost somewhere between $252 billion and $3.6 trillion. Whoever holds power over the next 10 years, American taxpayers will be footing those bills. Drop a comment, do you think Golden Dome will actually protect the US, or is it too expensive a bet? Right, believe it, or not sure? I want to say something that goes beyond astrology and budget numbers. The 21st century has not turned out to be as safe as people imagined. Military technologies are advancing faster than international agreements can regulate them. The drones the Pentagon is developing today will end up in the hands of other nations tomorrow, just as nuclear weapons were once a US monopoly and then stopped being one. The Pentagon is literally testing drones right now that can autonomously form teams and carry out missiles without any human involvement. The question of who bears the responsibility for a decision made by an algorithm is no longer a philosophical question. It's a legal and political question that will be resolved in the years ahead. And the way the US resolves it during this period will set a precedent for the entire world. As long as even one people lives under the threat of invasion, and especially under active war right on Europe's doorstep as Ukraine does, no one on this planet is fully safe, because the technology of war doesn't recognize borders. What gets field tested in one theater of operations ends up in the hands of non-state actors around the world within a few years. The full moon in June 2023 gave us Task Force Lima and the replication program. The next cycle like it runs from May 24th to June 14th, 2026. And I'm watching closely to see what decisions get made inside that window. What from today's video feels most important to you, military eye, Golden Dome, or the way military spending affects your life? Let me know in the comments. Share this video with someone you trust, and I'll keep watching this alongside you.